Jack Roller, my man. How's it going? We got day 2 action over here right behind us. The girls and the novice division getting going. How's things going on your end?
Super, man. We're just having a great event. We've got about 2,700 and some kids here from 44 states. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, so, next door is just a bunch of hammers wrestling.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm really excited about what's going on behind us. Before the tournament, I was back there, just a bunch of kids really excited about wrestling. And about 300 girls out here. Tell me about the development of the novice and the girls side.
Well, the novice, we started doing that quite a few years, 7, 8 years ago, and we just felt like that would kind of migrate them right over to the big show, and it'd be a natural transition after they'd wrestle. We did a little thing different. We did first or second year wrestlers only. We do not go by any other thing but first or second year wrestler. That's the only qualification. With the girls, I mean, my gosh, we took this challenge on about 4 years ago. We were one of the first ones that started doing it at national events. We feel like because we started doing that, we have OKWA, Oklahoma Kids Wrestling, started having the state championship finals for girls, first time ever. And, I've been associated with them. I was state director for quite a few years. And I just really was glad to see them follow suit. Now, of course, a lot of pressure's coming from down below to the high schools, and guess what? High schools are now really going to start doing some great things for the girls.
I mean, how do you feel about the impact that Roller Productions had on wrestling, building this great tournament and kind of being out in front of things like the girls wrestling team?
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot of pride that I think all my workers take. I mean, it's definitely we work probably 60 people. When we go to Reno, we fly 50 people to Reno, which is a great event, just like Tulsa Nationals. We feel like both of those are some of the toughest tournaments any kid could ever wrestle in. Matter of fact, it's such a thrill to watch these little kids grow up, and then next thing you know, you're watching them in the NCAAs. You're watching them, in the Olympics. I mean, that's how old I'm getting, but I mean, it's a fun deal. And having something like 65 years of tradition in a city like Tulsa, I mean, that's probably the oldest, and I do believe it's the toughest events. It's kind of neat to hear people talk about Tulsa Nationals. They call it the Super Bowl of wrestling, the World Series of wrestling. They call it, the toughest tournament in the world. They call it, the real national championships, and I believe it is.
Yeah, absolutely. The deepest youth tournament out there. But one thing on top of that, I noticed that the events are always running smooth, and here we are in 2 separate venues, 2 separate setups. Tell me about the coordination and what's involved.
I'll tell you one thing for sure, only a crazy man would try to do that, okay? We got 2 different buildings, 3 different tournaments going at the same time. We got weigh-ins that we have to schedule around. I mean, I got the greatest bunch of people working for me that really take, I think, as much pride in the end results. That's when they're on the winner's stand and see another successful event pulled off. I think all my workers take a lot of pride in that because they're darn sure not doing it for the money, period, okay?
So tell me, 65 years of this event, are you learning every event? I notice changes that happen every event. What do you do, after the tournament to make those adjustments?
Well, I mean, you think you got it all down right, you think, man, but then again, there's just like our opening ceremonies, I've seen things I can improve on a lot. So, I mean, as long as I'm loving doing it, I want to stay doing it. But, it's just something that's a challenge. All of us have that competitive spirit, I hope. And, that's what we need to keep making it great for the kids. I want every kid that comes to Tulsa Nationals, Reno, to feel like they just wrestled in the Olympics. Got to be that way.
It's cool. You mentioned it earlier. Guys that are winning world titles and stuff.
Oh my God.
Do you feel like a little extra something behind? Is it more exciting when hey, that kid was 65-pounder.
I watched him grow up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that Bev and I sit around and watch. I mean, but it's not just us that realize that. I just talked to Ron Dresser. His boys won, I think, the record at Reno. I think 8 Reno World Championships. Reno has 2,600 and some kids. 30 400 and some kids, where Tulsa has about 2,800. Doesn't mean it's any less tough, because it's centrally located and only the tough come here, of course. But, you know, it's just really a thrill to watch those kids grow up. I mean, I know so many of them, and I know them personally, and their parents. And I appreciate someone that'll come all the way from New Jersey or California to come to something we're putting on. You know, I want to make it special for them.
Yeah, well, that's just a testament to how great the event is. What do you what's like the ultimate goal you have? Is that something? What's the ultimate goal for this series?
For this series?
For kickoff, Tulsa Nationals and Reno World.
Well, you know, the goal is to just make everyone better. I mean, you know, that's the thing, and we don't really have a goal set that we want to get recognition from anybody. We just want the kids, when they leave, to tell other kids about it, you know, and it just continues to grow. I mean, it's something that we take a lot of pride in.
Awesome. Well, Jack, I'm going to get back here. I'm going to interview some of these hammers behind us. Do you have anything else you want to share right now?
No, Joe, I just thank you personally for all you do for the sport. You know, you when you were with Flo and now on your own, I mean, I'm telling you, you've done a lot to affect these kids. You make them feel special.
I appreciate that, Jack.